For Post 22 Baseball, this is Tom Rudebush, and this is our Fans in the Stands segment. And we have 4 longtime Post 22 fans who are with us, whether it's raining, as it is now, whether it's hot, whatever the team is doing. Every year they're out here, and they like to sit down here in the right field foul territory down the right field line. So I got each of these guys who have been with us to identify themselves. And speak up, guys. Give us your name.
Hi, my name is Richard Hatzenmuller.
Vern Green.
I'm Craig Eriks. Dick Stone.
Let's start with you, Dick. How long have you been associated with Post 22 Baseball? And you have a special relationship with the team because your son played.
Yes. I've been coming to the game since the middle 60s, but I played out here in 1957 for Ted Evans was my coach, and that was the first year the field was put together. It's been a long time, but enjoyed every minute of it.
What's your favorite part of watching Post 22 play?
Hustle.
Common theme. Next, Shorty here.
Thanks, Tom. Well, I've been coming to the game since probably the early 60s. And haven't missed very many since then. I think I'm kind of like Dick. I like to see them hustle. That makes them stand out against most every other team that you watch them play. And that's why they're so successful.
Do you have a favorite player this year?
I don't do that.
You just like the whole team?
I like the whole team.
Yeah, I started coming. I was a late bloomer. I didn't start coming till 2 years before they won the national championship, and I've enjoyed myself immensely. I like the talent that gets cranked out of here every year. I mean, they take these guys and they just turn them into awesome baseball players, and it's just year after year after year.
Any favorite player for you?
I'm with these guys. They're all good. They're all good.
And Shorty back here.
Yeah, I've been coming out for about 30 years, and I think one of the things I liked a lot is just the camaraderie of what being around these guys. We have a great time together at the ball game, at the ball field. But Post 22 is what makes it all happen. The discipline on the team, watching the team develop and get better, and we're hitting all the way up the lineup this year, and I love the game of baseball, so it gives us a good reason to come out. There's no better place to spend a summer evening than right out here at the Fitz.
You know, the fans have been such an important part of Post 22 Baseball over the years, and these guys, not only do you see them all the time here, I've run into them on the road. Talk about the different road trips you guys have taken.
We've done some.
Many, every year.
You always seem to end up at the state tournament if it's out of town.
For sure.
All
Yep.
and regionals.
We have our reservations in Dickinson already.
For the regional.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a good omen. What's the longest trip you've taken?
Blue Springs, Kansas.
Yeah, Blue Springs, Missouri. Yeah.
Blue Springs, Missouri.
Roseburg?
I was there for the state championship.
Greensburg, Mississippi.
You were down at the World Series in '79?
Yep.
Holy Toledo, that's as long as these guys have been around. I'll tell you, they're a great group of guys, so you won't find a better group of guys to visit with. They're great Post 22 fans. You'll see them down here, the right field line, every home game, and as I said, on the road too. Thanks, guys, for sharing your thoughts with us. Post 22 Baseball, this is Tom Rudebush with our Fan in the Stand segment. Hi again, everyone, from Fitzgerald Stadium. Post 22 Baseball is on the air from the Firecracker tournament sponsored by Camping World, running through Tuesday night with Mark Benetti This is Tom Rudebush on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and we welcome our viewers on Hardhat TV, our director, Destin Heumann. Second day of the Firecracker, but really the first full day of play with 6 games having been played today. And tonight, Post 22 takes on a Mountain West team that has had an excellent season so far, as has Post 22. Mountain West just defeated Yakima, Washington by a score of 6-3. So Mountain West and Post 22 both come into the game with records of 1 win and no losses. Briefly giving you the other scores, the big winners today, Eden Prairie. They won 2 games. They beat Missoula 1-0, and then they beat Premier West out of Colorado 12-4. Premier West then came back to beat Rocky Mountain 4-2, but then Rocky Mountain came back and handed Las Vegas their second loss of the tournament 8-4, and then Mountain West defeating Yakima 6-3. Post 22 winning last night over Las Vegas 10-2. Is 1-0, as is Mountain West on the season. The Hardhats have won 34 and lost 4, and Mountain West has won 24 and has lost 6 on the season. So it looks like a great game, and it also is kind of amazing, Mark, that we've had 2 rain delays in this second day of the Firecracker, and one during that game just before us with Mountain West winning over Yakima. But yet we're starting this game probably right on time.
Yeah, go figure, right? It's incredible. They're actually doing the starting lineups right now out on the field, so we'll go ahead and give you that as it is listed for us by both of the managers here between these teams. Mountain West out of Utah, they're batting in the top halves of our 7 innings. Leading off is number 73, Jackson Mansfield. He's playing second base. Batting second, number 31, Andrew Aston. He's in the hot corner at third. Batting third, number 37, Ryan Hardman. He is playing shortstop. And in the cleanup position is number 38, Peyton Gross. He's the backstopper and catcher. Batting fifth is number 39, J.D. Gardner. He's the designated hitter tonight for Mountain West. Batting sixth is number 71, Catcher Thompson. Ironically enough, not playing catcher. He's playing right field. Batting seventh is another number 39, I should say. That is Zach Mansfield. He'll be patrolling left field. Batting eighth is number 47, Jackson Barber, out at first base. And rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot for Mountain West is number 46, Nate Embry. He'll patrol center field. Ethan Folks, number 66, is on the mound for Mountain West. He'll take on the Hardhats batting order as it follows in the bottom halves of our 7 innings of regulation. Leading off is number 11, Walker Paz, back at home at second base. Batting second is number 13, Zach Solano, once again patrolling right field. Batting third, number 22, Cooper Bowman, out at the shortstop position. And in the cleanup spot is number 23, Eric Petrie. He's the designated hitter. Batting fifth, number 28, Zach Sumption, once again patrolling left field. Batting sixth is number 31, Luke Ferdinand, out at first base. Batting seventh is number 21, Timmy Paris, the backstopper and catcher. Batting eighth is number 14, Justin Kramer, out in the hot corner at third. Rounding out the batting order in the ninth spot for Post 22 is number 12, Connor King. He will patrol center field. On the mound tonight for the Hardhats is the fireballer, Kyle McGuire, out here for his 10th start of the season and 12th appearance overall for Post 22. He has 39 2/3 innings of work under his belt and a perfect 6-0 record to protect against Mountain West tonight. A team leading 42 strikeouts to 29 bases on balls and a microscopic 0.353 ERA. He's only allowed 8 runs. Only 2 of them have been earned. And through about 38, soon to be 39 games, Tom, that is just a remarkable statistic. And hard to believe that, number one, you can only give up 8 runs in 39 2/3 innings of work, but only 2 of them are earned. You've got to be doing something right out there.
And again, take nothing away from how Kevin has pitched this year. He's pitched some magnificent baseball. I know the one thing that he mentioned to me after his last performance on the road trip to Washington, I've got to get the walks down. I mean, that's a good thing that he recognizes that he's not going to be able to escape all the time putting men on base. But he's pitched, I mean, what are teams batting against him this year? I mean, 169 is what teams are hitting against him. So you have to give Kyle just a lot of kudos for his great efforts on the mound.
Well, folks, we're going to have the presentation of our colors. We'll have the performance of the United States National Anthem, and before you know it, we'll be set for first pitch. Game 2 for your Post 22 Hardhats of the 2017 and 43rd Annual Firecracker Tournament. They're taking on Mountain West. out of Utah. Stick around, folks. You're listening to the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org.
You don't have to try to hit a home run when you're hitting singles and doubles all day. Consistency wins games, and it's key to helping achieve your retirement goals. At Weitzel Financial Group, they believe they're there to help with your own ideals and goals. Head toward your field of dreams. Call Weitzel Financial Group for a consultation at 348-1152. Kurt Weitzel is a registered representative and investment advisor representative with and offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Weitzel Financial Group, 817 9th Street, Rapid City, South Dakota, 57701.
Trusted Choice Insurance agents are independent agents.
I pledge to be your guide, not only to insurance, but to insurance companies.
They don't actually work for any one insurance company.
And to use my independence to identify the coverage that's best for you.
This means they can customize policies from several companies in ways that other agents just can't. And they commit to that.
And I pledge.
In writing. Trusted Choice. You need an independent insurance agent.
Black Hills Insurance Agency, a tradition of service since 1949.
Coke Zero goes with things like this. This. And this. Coke Zero tastes like this.
He shoots! He scores!
It sounds like this. It feels like this. So when the game is on, try it with this. Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste. 0 calories, 0 sugar.
Well, Mark, we heard just one of the nicest renditions of the national anthem I've heard in a lot of time. A Post 22 fan dating back 31 years, John Dorsey, has just sung the national anthem without a microphone. His microphone was dead, but he was fantastic. And I just mentioned to you coming out of our break, you might have to get him for a rush game. Boy, yeah. He would be unbelievable in that arena.
We might have to. There are some certain performances last year that I think could have gone a little better, and I'm sure Mr. Dorsey would be a fantastic addition to those that are slated to perform the national anthem for us.
Boy, in that arena, I mean, he was just amazing. So thank you very much, John Dorsey. A lot of fans going over and congratulating him. It was just a wonderful, wonderful rendition.
Well, John Dorsey's performance of the U.S. national anthem now leads us to the moments we've been waiting for leading up to first pitch for Game 2 of the 2017 Firecracker between Post 22 and Mountain West out of Utah. Both teams, as Tom mentioned in our pregame show, coming into this game with 1-0 records. So after tonight, only 2 undefeated teams will remain in this tournament, with Premier West Premier West went 1-0. So yes, after tonight, there will only be...
Premier West lost 2.
Yes, they did. That's right. They went 1-1. I must have seen a misinformation somewhere on that. But nonetheless, there will only be 2 teams after tonight that will be undefeated. And that's Eden Prairie and the winner of this matchup. Kyle McGuire on the mound for the Hardhats. Again, 9 starts, soon to be 10 after his first pitch. A 6-0 record under his belt. His 12th appearance of the season. 42 strikeouts to 29 walks and a 0.353 ERA. He'll take on the top 3 in the Mountain West order, and Jackson Mansfield, the second baseman, Andrew Aston, the third baseman, and Ryan Hardman, the shortstop. Surrounding Kyle on defense for the Hardhats, he's paired up with the catcher Timmy Paris. At first is Luke Ferdinand. At second, Walker Paz. At shortstop, Scooper Bowman. And in the hot corner at third is Justin Kramer. Left to right in the outfield, Zach Sumption, Connor King, and Zach Solano.
Well, the standings are starting to take shape after the first day. It's always fun each day. It's just like the regular season for 6 days, and then we have the postseason playoffs. But Post 22 with a win tonight will tie Eden Prairie for the lead atop of the standings with a 2-0 record. However, if they lose, they'll still be in the mix at 1-1. Leading off against Kyle is Jason Mansfield, the second baseman, a right-handed batter for Mountain West. 24 wins and 6 losses on the season. And a swing and a miss at a slider, and we're underway at 8:05 this evening, and our game time temperature 59 degrees. 1 strike on Mansfield. And the pitch on the way is a ball down low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, that's Jackson Mansfield, isn't it? I think I called him Jason. He was 2 for 4 in their opening game today, and he hits a foul back to the screen, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. McGuire working in front of the leadoff hitter for Mountain West. They collected 6 runs on 7 hits in their win over Yakima. Time is called, and Mansfield steps out. Here's the windup by Kyle, and the pitch low and outside. So the count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle into his windup, and the 2-2 pitch. Low for ball 3, and it's a full count. Three-2 pitch here to Jackson Mansfield. McGuire looking into Paris for the sign. Here's the right-hander's payoff pitch. It swung on a big chopper to third. Fielded by Kramer. The throw across the diamond to first for the out. Mansfield retired third to first. That brings up Andrew Aston, the third baseman. He was 0 for 3 in the first game. He's a left-handed batter. And the pitch on the way is a slider in for a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike as the pitch comes in from McGuire. And it's low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow will be a nice day. About 74 is what they're forecasting. Then warming up for the next 4 days of the Firecracker. Some real Firecracker weather. There's a foul down the left field line, out of play. And the count runs along at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Hardman, the shortstop, is on deck for Mountain West. Out of Utah. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball in tight. Count all even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. They appealed with the base umpire, but no swing. Kyle McGuire delivers, swung on, another foul off to the left. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul down and back. Count runs along, 2 balls, 2 strikes on the Mountain West third baseman. King is shading a couple of steps over towards left center field. A bit of a gap in right center field for Aston. Here's the pitch on the way. It's strike. A slider in there. First strikeout for McGuire, and there are 2 outs. Mountain West first. Here's Ryan Hardman, the shortstop, a right-handed batter. 1 for 3 in their earlier game today. And Kyle McGuire's pitch on the way. Swung on, a bouncer to second. Second hop to Paz, to throw to Ferdinand for the out. Good inning for Kyle McGuire as he sets the Mountain West team down 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first. Post 22 coming to bat. No score in the game, and you're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Great faces, great places. Wet paint? Yep. And around here, when great places need a little love, great faces band together. Each year, First Interstate Bank employees help local organizations put a fresh coat of paint on homes of those in need. A small gesture, perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces and strengthens bonds in the places we serve. First Interstate Bank. It's you and I together.
Post 22's Walker Paz will lead off here in the bottom of the first inning. Ethan Folks, the pitcher for Mountain West, and his coach told me he can be really brilliant and he can throw heat. Here's the right-hander's first pitch, and it's too high for ball 1. In fact, he said when he's on and he's pitching very, very well, he can hit 90. Here's the pitch on the way, and that's in tight. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Walker hitting .378 on the season. He has 2 home runs and 23 RBIs, and takes a strike at the knees there, and it's 2-1.
We can see this velocity. Absolutely, he is dealing right now.
He's a big young man, too. There's a fly ball to left field. Mansfield going back to the wall, and that ball is off the fence. And it'll be a stand-up double for Walker Paz. Walker with a leadoff double, his 12th double of the season. And that ball had some legs. And that'll bring up Zach Solano.
I'll tell you what, Tom, if there was some wind blowing, that would have been a solo shot for Walker, because that was a well-hit ball. He showed some opposite field power on it and just couldn't get it over that hump, but it went high off that big D sign in left field, so he definitely put some pop on it.
Zach hitting .366 and takes a pitch in for a strike. 6 home runs, 43 RBIs for Solano. And the pitch. Checks a swing at a breaking ball, but he went too far. And the count is 0-2 on Zach. A leadoff double for Walker Paz. He stands at second. Cooper Bowman on deck for Post 22. Here's Folks to the set. He delivers low, and it skips past the catcher, and Paz will go to third base. Wild pitch charged against Folks, allowing the runner to go to third. And Solano has a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that's a big pitch there, because if Zach could hit anything with good contact out of the infield, he's either got the ribby on a hit or he's got the ribby on a sac fly. So that's a big sequence of events there for the Hardhats.
Here's the pitch. Swung out, a fly ball to right field. That's carrying deep. Thompson's going back. He's at the warning track. He reaches out, doesn't get the ball. In to score comes Paz, and Solano will stop at second base. Another fly ball that had legs. And that ball carried back to the warning track, and Thompson reached up, appeared to get his mitt on the ball, but couldn't hold it, and they're going to charge the right fielder with a two-base error.
That's a big two-base error because now Zach Solano's in scoring position with arguably the best hitter on this club in the batter's box.
And that's the man who leads the team in hitting at .482, Cooper Bowman. Breaking ball low and outside. And here's the coach making a quick trip to the mound here for the Mountain West team. He doesn't want his whole infield coming in. He just wanted to meet with his pitcher and his catcher.
Tom, keep in mind that at one point Cooper went 0 for 6 in 2 games, and that apparently is a slump. He had a streak at one point prior to that of 8 consecutive at-bats with a hit, and the vast majority of them, if not almost all of them, were extra base hits, including a grand slam and a 2-run blast. So Cooper can do it all. He hits to every field, and he can hit for power.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, chopped to third, but foul. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Solano at second. Here's the pitch, and it's in the dirt, and that gets away from the catcher, and Solano goes to third. By the way, on that fly ball that was hit by Solano for that two-base error, Zach would actually get credit for a sacrifice fly, because if the ball would have been caught, Paz would have scored from third base. So there is an error, but no at-bat for Solano, and he gets credit for his 44th RBI. Here's Bowman now at third, or at the plate with a runner at third, and Cooper takes strike 3 on the low outside corner. And now it's 2-2. The home plate umpire gave us that big third strike call, and then he realized it was only 2-2. Now the catcher is going to run out and talk to his pitcher, Ethan Folks. It's kind of funny.
It is always funny when that happens.
Not for me, it wasn't.
Well, that's the one downside. If you and I are trying to call what we're reacting to, then we look like idiots, but still is funny to watch, that's for sure.
I've learned to live with that over the years. There's a high pop-up. Bowman popping it up, and the third baseman coming in, and Aston makes the catch for the out. So Cooper is retired, and a pop-up to third, and that'll bring up Eric Petrie, the designated hitter. 1-0. Post 22 is scored here in the last half of the first inning to take an early lead. And they still have Solano at third base. Eric hitting .389, and he takes a pitch down low for a ball. And it was called a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1.
Eric's even better with the runner in scoring position. He's one of 7 hard hats with a .400 or better batting average, and he's right at .400.
Ground ball to the shortstop. That'll score the run. Hardman fields it and throws wide to first base past Barber, and Petrie will go to second base. So there's another error, the second of the inning for Mountain West on their shortstop Hardman, but again, Petrie will get charged at a time at bat, but he'll also get an RBI on the play because with the infield back, the runner who had scored anyway had the throw been on target for an out. So an RBI for Eric, his 29th. And here's Zach Sumption hitting .456 and takes a pitch low for ball 1.
It's so good that every year I've called for Post 22, I've had someone that understands how to score the game. I cannot tell you how refreshing that is to have.
Who are you referring to?
Well, you and Teddy. The only 2 partners I've ever had doing Post 22. You guys actually know how to score the game. It is so refreshing because there are major league broadcasts that even get it wrong.
Pitch is low and outside to Zach Sumption, who has 8 doubles, 6 triples. Here's the set by Folks and the right-hander's pitch. Low and outside. He has a count of 3 balls and no strikes. He hasn't been able to get either his fastball or his slider consistently where he wants it. He struggled here in the first inning with those 2 pitches. Throws that one over for a strike, and it's 3-1 on Sumption. Petrie at second base, 1 out, 2 runs in for Post 22, helped out by a couple of Mountain West errors. Here's the pitch. Zach takes it low and outside. He walks.
The walk brings up first baseman number 31, Luke Ferdinand.
Here's Luke Ferdinand, the first baseman for Post 22. Has been a hot hitter over the last couple of weeks at .353 now on the season for Luke. He has 7 doubles and driven in 18 runs. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Low and inside, ball 1, and he is struggling with that slider. He just can't seem to locate the corners like he wants. Folks delivers, check swing, and a strike. Inside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Dating back to the start of the Palouse Summer Series out in Pullman, Luke's been hitting over .420. Almost had a hit in all of those games as well. He's been playing some phenomenal baseball as recently.
And the pitch is a ball inside. I think folks thought he might have had part of the strike zone on that pitch. It was ruled a ball. It's 2-1. Barber at first base playing in back of Sumption. Shortstop Hardman trying to keep Petrie close to second. There's a fly ball down the left field line. It's going to be out of play. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
What I've liked about Luke is that it looks like this time around he's starting to see the ball well. Prior to this hot streak he's been on, he'd get a couple of big hits here and there, but he's doing it on a consistent basis now, which means that he has tweaked something with his approach to the plate. His eyes are really doing it all for him.
Swing and a miss. A pitch down and in the dirt. Ferdinand went after it and strikes out. So 2 outs here in the first inning for the Hardhats, and that brings up catcher Timmy Paris. Timmy hitting .304, leads the team in doubles with 15. He has 2 homers and 37 RBIs. Right-handed batter, 2 outs and 2 on. Folks, the right-hander delivers. Swung on and fouled off to the right. 1 strike.
Good to see Timmy back above 300 for his batting average because he dipped quite a lot. He was red hot to start off the year, and it was unfortunate to see him cool off when he did because he's such a clutch hitter and works so hard for this team. So good to see him get back on the horse and start contributing on offense.
Here's the pitch. Low and outside. Folks really trying to work that outside corner on the right-handed batters, but then he's trying to work it the inside corner to the left-handed batters. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch to Paris. Inside over the knees, and it's ball 2. 2-1.
When you're having some control issues like this, as a pitcher, you have to simplify things. If your slider, if your off-speed isn't working, stick with your fastball and throw it for strikes. Let your defense try and help you out. I know they've got 2 errors right now, but you've got to simplify things. Otherwise, you're really going to put yourself in a hole.
Paris hits a soft line drive to the first baseman, caught by Barber, and that retires the side. So Folks is able to get out of the inning, giving up 2 runs in the inning. There was just 1 Post 22 hit, 2 Mountain West errors, and 2 men left on base. So at the end of 1, Post 22 has taken a 2-0 lead over Mountain West out of Utah. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box, and you're listening to ESPN Radio Rapid City.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family, offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 125 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
Two 2-0 Post 22 leading here after the first inning of play. It will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters from Mountain West. A great first inning for Kyle McGuire, getting a strikeout and 2 ground ball outs in that first inning. And Mark, he couldn't have thrown very many pitches.
Only 14, which is good. You want to hover from around that 15 pitch per inning mark. You'd obviously like to see it as low as it can go, because then that saves the pitcher's arm. He's got more velocity as the game goes on. But realistically speaking, a healthy average is about 12 to 15 an inning. He's right in the middle there at 14 to start off, so that's good. And that's what happens, though, when you throw for strikes and when you attack. When you've got the velocity that Kyle does, throwing almost upwards of 90 that we saw back in Pullman, you can attack with that. Batters will be late. They'll misjudge high fastballs especially, so it's good to see that Kyle's rebounded and had a great start so far.
And the first pitch to Gross, the catcher here, is a strike on the low inside corner. Peyton Gross, a right-handed batter, was 0 for 3 in their first game. Outfield is straight away. Here's the pitch on the way. And a fastball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, you told me earlier today that Kyle was telling you, while he was happy with his start in Washington, and a great one at that, wants to limit his walks. So that's where control comes into play for Kyle. And we've seen him at great control at times. We've seen him at not so great control. Obviously, to make the bold, the easy statement here, he's got to try and find a way to just keep things under control.
1-1 pitch is outside for a ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
I promise that'll be my only John Madden moment of this broadcast.
2-1 with the leadoff hitter here in the second for Mountain West, Peyton Gross. Swing and a miss. Looked like Kyle's slider again away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I do promise, though, if I have another John Madden moment, I'll throw out the impression just to make it that much more entertaining.
Does that mean I have to sound like Pat Summerall?
If you want to, you can. You're more than welcome to.
Pat never did baseball.
No, he didn't.
So I'll just be myself. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball in tight at the belt, and it's a full count.
Although you could be Al Michaels. He was partnered up with John Madden, and he used to work for the San Francisco Giants and the Cincinnati Reds, so you got that going for you. You'd be the old Al Michaels.
I think I'll just be myself. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. McGuire gets his second strikeout. Good pitch. Down and in. Here's J.D. Gardner, the designated hitter. Right-handed batter. Gardner was 1 for 3 in their first game. McGuire swings into his windup, and here's his pitch. And a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch on the way. And it's down low, and it's 1-1. This is Post 22's 39th game of the year. They're 34-4. In those 39 games, they've committed 42 errors, just over 1 per game, and that's an excellent total for a Legion team. And what is just as amazing, the number of double plays they've turned at 41. Pitch is low again, 2-1 now on Gardner. So 42 errors to 41 double plays is an amazing 1-to-1 ratio. 2 balls and a strike here on Gardner. McGuire's retired the first 4 men he has faced. The pitch on the way is bounced foul outside of third, and the count levels off at 2-2. You look at Post 22's top 3 pitchers right now, the ones that you know are 1, 2, 3 in the starting rotation, in whichever order they may be throwing, they're pretty solid. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a slider away, and a strikeout of Gardner, and there are 2 down.
3 Ks in the book now for Kyle. He is dialed in, locked and loaded, however you want to put it. He's throwing some great baseball right now.
Well, here is our right fielder, catcher Thompson. And McGuire's pitch swung on, and it's lined out in the right, or to the right fielder, or to first baseman Ferdinand. I lost the ball for a second. I saw the players running off, so I knew it was caught. And it was Ferdinand who made the catch. 6 in a row retired by Kyle McGuire to start the game. We go to the bottom of the second. Post 22 leading by a score of 2-0 on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Why do so many business people trust us? Well, we're pretty nice folks, of course, and we really know our stuff. Black Hills Insurance, a tradition of service since 1949.
Post 22 got 2 runs in the first inning. They lead 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Tomorrow night now, we'll be on the air again right around 8 o'clock. That will be the last of the late starts for Post 22. Our opponent tomorrow night, Premier West out of Colorado, which split 2 games today, losing to Eden Prairie 12-4 and beating Rocky Mountain 4-2. And, of course, Post 22 won 3 out of 4 against Premier West back in Denver 3-4 weeks ago. 8 o'clock again tomorrow night for our broadcast here on ESPN Radio. Now, Hardhat TV will be on tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 as the first pitch is a ball, 1-0 on Justin Kramer, who swings and lifts a fly ball into shallow left center field, and the center fielder coming in, and Embry makes the catch for the out. Kramer retired, 1 down. He was hitting .371. That'll bring up Connor King. So ESPN Radio tomorrow, just the night broadcast at 8 o'clock. On Hardhat TV, we'll have the 8 o'clock broadcast tomorrow night, plus the 12:30 game against Missoula. King up, and he takes a strike on the inside corner, knee high. Connor hitting .250. Couple of home runs, 22 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a bouncing ball hit to the right side. Over goes the second baseman Mansfield to scoop it up and flip to Barber for the out. Mansfield roaming far to his left to field that ball. 2 down, and that'll bring up Walker Paz, who doubled to left to start the game and scored in the first inning.
There's so much of a respect factor that goes into a play like that. It looks routine because that's how these players are brought up throughout their little league and minor careers before they get to this level, but moving to his left and having to throw across the left side of his body looks like an easy throw because these guys have perfected it, but it's really not an easy play.
Pitches a ball to Walker, and the next pitch, strike, and it's 1-1. Boy, Folks is a quick worker. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch. And it's 1-2 now on Paz. Folks has retired 4 in a row now, and he looks like he's getting in a groove. There's strike 3 on the outside corner, knee high, and Paz is retired in a quick 1-2-3 inning for Ethan Folks. Well, that looked like the pitcher that the Mountain West coach was talking about before the game. Their coach is Jeff Berenson. And, man, did he look sharp in that second. 2-0. Post 22 leads Mountain West at the end of 2. From the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box, you're listening to Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org.
Well, we'd like to thank, in behalf of Post 22 Baseball, Camping World for their support of the 43rd Annual Firecracker Tournament, your one-stop for sales, service, and accessories at Camping World. I went by them on the interstate today, and It's amazing how many RVs and trailers they have out there and everything you would need. At Camping World, thank you for sponsoring the 2017 Firecracker Tournament. And leading off is Zach Mansfield, the left fielder. Right-handed batter against Kyle McGuire, who delivers outside for ball one. Kyle has retired 6 in a row. Here's the motion and the pitch. Low for a ball. Mansfield was 1 for 3 in the earlier game. And the pitch, high and tight. 3 balls and no strikes. Kyle behind here, 3-0. Here's the pitch. And he hits the outside corner for a strike. 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. High. And it's ball 4. And a leadoff walk for Mansfield. Here's Jackson Barber, the first baseman. The number 8 hitter, a leadoff man on for Mountain West here in the top of the third. Post 22 leading 2-0. Ferdinand holding with Mansfield at first. Infield looking for that double play ground ball. Here's the set by McGuire and his pitch. Swing and a miss. A pitch away, and it's 1 strike. One strike to count. McGuire's pretty much evenly divided on the year. 52% on ground balls, 48% on fly balls. Throw goes to first base. Mansfield is back.
While we're on the topic of ratios, Tom, you talked again about limiting those walks. Right now he's at 3 Ks to a base on balls. It's pretty good so far, 3-1.
And a throw to first again, and getting back is Mansfield in a fairly close play.
That was very close. Kyle thought he had it. He started trotting around the mound like he had just rung him up, and the umpire shook his head. That was dangerous.
1 strike to count. Mansfield with his lead. Here's the pitch. Swung on, chopped towards Paz at second. He tags the runner going to second, throws to first for the double play. Nice play by Walker Paz. On a bouncer to second, he came in, and Mansfield, instead of hesitating, just tried to run by Walker, but Walker was able to get the tag on him and then flipped to Ferdinand to complete the double play. And there's our double play that we were looking for, and for Post 22, their 42nd DP of the year. Here's Nate Embry, the center fielder, number 9 hitter. He's a right-handed batter, lifts a fly ball to right field. Solano backs off a couple of steps to make the catch. So in the third inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Kyle McGuire's faced a minimum 9 hitters through 3 innings. And we head to the bottom of the third. The Hardhats 2, Mountain West Utah nothing. Post 22 baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales press box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
You don't have to try to hit a home run when you're hitting singles and doubles all day. Consistency wins games, and it's key to helping achieve your retirement goals. At Weitzel Financial Group, they believe they're there to help with your own ideals and goals. Head toward your field of dreams. Call Weitzel Financial Group for a consultation at 348-1152. Kurt Weitzel is a registered representative and investment advisor representative with and offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Weitzel Financial Group, 817 9th Street, Rapid City, South Dakota 57701.
Trusted Choice Insurance agents are independent agents.
I pledge to be your guide, not only to insurance, but to insurance companies.
They don't actually work for any one insurance company.
And to use my independence to identify the coverage that's best for you.
This means they can customize policies from several companies in ways that other agents just can't. And they commit to that.
And I pledge.
In writing. Trusted Choice. You need an independent insurance agent.
Black Hills Insurance Agency, a tradition of service since 1940.
Zach Solano leading off here in the last half of the third, post 22 with a 2-0 lead. Zach reached on a two-base error in the first inning and scored. Takes the pitch down and in, although he got credit for a sacrifice fly and an RBI, his 44th of the year, second on the team. There's a chopper foul off to the left, and it's 1-1 strike. Zach slated to head to North Dakota State this fall to be a Bison. Here's the pitch, and it's high. Now, you know North Dakota State, Mark. You know, you're from New York, so you don't say Bison. It's Bison with a Z. The Bison.
Bison. Yeah.
Three
I
balls.
did not know that.
3 balls and 1 strike. Well, we don't go to North Dakota this year till later in the year, so you're safe. Full count to Solano as he bounces a foul off to the left. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cooper Bowman on deck, and then Eric Petrie to follow here in the last half of the third inning. The pitch is fouled back. Ethan Folks is retired 5 in a row. Settled down after giving up 2 runs on a hit in the first inning, although those 2 errors really hurt him. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away from Solano, and he is tagged out. Zach is out as the catcher dropped the ball. Zach didn't make any motion towards first base, so he is out. 1 away, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Folks. Here's Cooper Bowman, who popped to third his first time up. Checks his swing and fouls it off to the right. A pitch up and in, and Cooper couldn't get the bat out of the way, and he kicks at the dirt in the batter's box.
I think that still wouldn't have been a strike either way. It would either have fouled off like he just did now, or if it was just under the bat and he made the full motion to try and get away from that pitch, I think he still would have crossed.
Pitch is down in the dirt for a ball. There is a big gap in right center for Cooper, with Embry, the center fielder, shading over in left center field. Cooper, of course, sprays the ball all over the diamond between the foul lines. He can hit it anywhere. Takes a strike, and the ball pops out of Gross's mitt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Cooper, with 1 out and the bases empty. The last half of the third inning, post 22 leading 2-0. Pitch on the way is low. Boy, Gross is getting a workout behind home plate tonight. Mountain West won their first game. The 5:30 game, they beat Yakima, Washington by a score of 6-3. Sharp grounder foul outside of third. Still 2-2 on number 22, Cooper Bowman. Came in leading the team in hitting at .482. Leads the team in extra base hits. He swings and lifts a fly ball into left field. Coming in is Zach Mansfield to make the catch, and there's out number 2. Cooper had 23 extra base hits coming into the game. So here's Eric Petrie, who reached on an error his first time up, but got credit for his 29th RBI. Here's the pitch by Folks. In the dirt for ball 1. That rain delay in that first game for Mountain West. Boy, I was thinking, gad, we're not going to get out of here till 12 midnight tonight. And here we are. It's not even 9 o'clock, and we're already in the bottom half of the third inning. Pitch is inside, 2-0 on Petrie. Swing and a foul. 2-1 the count.
That's what you get with some of these late starts here at 8 o'clock.
And there's been not that many pitches in the game. I love it. I wish I was paid by the pitch some games. Swing and a miss by Eric. He had a big cut. Off-speed pitch again, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
88 out of this point between both pitchers.
And the pitch. Low and inside, ball 3, and it's a full count. Eric had his 6-game hitting streak snapped last night. Nobody with post 22 now has much of a streak going. Pitch on the way, and it's wide for ball 4. So Petrie draws a 2-out walk. Second walk given up by Folks, and it brings up Sumption. He walked in the first inning. So with 2 outs, Barber will hold with Petrie. Here's the set by Folks. The pitch on the way. A strike at the knees. Post 22. Trying to go 2-0 here in the Firecracker and tie Eden Prairie. Pitch is low and away. 1-1. You look at Eden Prairie, won the Minnesota large school, high school tournament a week or so ago, and then we have Rocky Mountain won the Colorado tournament. There's a foul backing out of play by Sumption, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. Here's the pitch. Bounce to third. To his left, not being able to get to it is Aston. The ball goes into left field. Petrie's going to third. He's going to be safe and down to second. Great base running there by Sumption and first base coach Jason Hers. So, Sumption has a hit. That'll be the second hit for post 22. Runners at the corners, 2 out now. And here's Luke Ferdinand, who struck out swinging. He pitched down in the dirt that Luke went after in the first inning. Here's the pitch by Folks. And a strike at the knees. Second and third, 2 out. Here's the pitch. And that just missed for a ball. It's 1-1 down low. Ferdinand has been a good clutch RBI man in the last few games. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch on the way. Swinging a foul back. And it's 1-2 on Ferdinand. Timmy Paris on deck. He's hoping for a chance to bat here in the last half of the third. Hardhats leading 2-0. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, did he pull the string on Ferdinand on that pitch. 4th strikeout for Ethan Folks. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left on base. 3 complete here at Fitzgerald Stadium. It's day 2 of the Camping World Firecracker Tournament. From the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box, you're listening to Post 22 Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City.
9.
Trusted Choice Insurance agents are independent agents.
I pledge to be your guide, not only to insurance, but to insurance companies.
They don't actually work for any one insurance company.
And to use my independence to identify the coverage that's best for you.
This means they can customize policies from several companies in ways that other agents just can't. And they commit to that.
And I pledge.
In writing. Trusted Choice. You need an independent insurance agent.
Black Hills Insurance Agency, a tradition of service since 1949.
This is music from my era.
Yeah?
And what era is that? Are you...
Please, go on.
At the end of 3 innings of play, Post 22 has a 2-0 lead over Mountain West Utah with 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And for Mountain West, no runs, no hits, and 2 errors. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Post 22. No runs, no hits, 2 errors for Mountain West. We go to the 4th inning. And Bringing us the fourth without a Domino's pizza tonight, here is Mark Benetti.
Yeah, right? Well, we don't have a rain delay, knock on wood. But we don't have a rain delay, so we don't have to worry about ordering a pizza. Kyle's going to start off at the top of the order here from Mountain West. 35th pitch of this start, starting off the top half of the fourth. And it's a breaking ball called strike against Jackson Mansfield. The second baseman was 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. No balls and a strike to count here to Mansfield. Mansfield, Aston, Hardman due up here in this top half of the fourth. Hardhats trying to protect a 2-0 lead. 0-1 pitch, called strike on the inside. No balls and 2 strikes now from Kyle McGuire to Mansfield. McGuire, 3 strikeouts to a walk in this start, looking for that 4th K. He's in the driver's seat, 0-2 against Mansfield. And his 0-2 pitch, swung on, ball is chopped to third. Kramer's got it on another high hop, throw to first is in time. So 2-5-3 retirements for Mansfield. 1 up, 1 down. That's going to bring us to Andrew Aston. Aston, left-handed hitting third baseman. 0 for 1. He has a backwards K in the book. That was the first of 3 Kyle McGuire strikeouts. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead. Base path is empty here for Aston. 1 out, top of the fourth. And his first pitch is low for ball 1. Full windup for Kyle. Here comes his 1-0 pitch. That's high and away, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. So Kyle going fastball for his first 2 pitches to Aston. Ryan Hardman, the shortstop, on deck. He's also 0 for 1. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, and the ball is hit weakly to third. Kramer gets the stop. Throw to first is in time. That was a very interesting ball hit off the bat of Aston. May have caught the end of his barrel there because it didn't have much pop. And it looked like it was just going to die in the grass there, but Kramer makes a nice play charging in from third. 2 5-3s in the scorebook in this top half of the fourth, and that's going to bring us to Ryan Hardman. So right now it's the Justin Kramer show on defense. Hardman 0 for 1, a ground out to second. His first pitch skips away for ball 1. Goes all the way to the backstop. The cleanup hitter, Peyton Gross, goes to retrieve the ball. Ball and no strikes to count here to Ryan Hardman. And the 1-0. That's a called strike at his knees on the inside corner. Nice little fastball from McGuire. Ball and a strike to count. Peyton Gross on deck. Struck out. Should we get that far? 2 outs, base path's empty. 1-1 to Hardman, misses low. 2-1. If Hardman's the last out, the Hardhats will go to 7, 8, and 9 in the order. That's Timmy Parrish, Justin Kramer, and Connor King here in the bottom of the fourth. Full windup for McGuire. 2-1 pitch, a swung on, and that's ripped into center field. It's going to drop in front of Connor King for a base hit. And that is the first hit of the ball game, surrendered by Kyle McGuire. 3 2/3 innings of work, and he surrenders his first hit. And that's going to bring up Peyton Gross, the catcher. So McGuire retires 10 of 11, because he did issue the walk. Retired the first 6 he saw, then retired 4 in a row. Got the double play as well thrown in there. So at that point, he had faced the minimum number of batters. And now he goes up against Peyton Gross, the catcher. He struck him out in the top half of the second, and he deals ball 1 to start off his next plate appearance. So Gross has a man on first, 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. The Hardhats up 2 to rip. McGuire checks first. And here's his 1-0 to Gross. Pitch misses low, and the count goes to 2-0. Gross, the catcher from Mountain West, has been catching for Ethan Folks, the starting pitcher for this Mountain West club out of Utah. Folks has 64 pitches through 3 innings of work. 2-0 from McGuire. Swung on, ball's fouled into the meshing. Behind home plate, 2-1 now the count. So 2 balls and a strike the count. McGuire to Gross. Check to first. They've got him in a pickle. Ferdinand to Bowman. He covers. Bowman charging to Ferdinand. Got the tag. 3-6-3. 1-3-6-3, I should say. And that catches the runner in a bind and will end the top half of the fourth. So Gross, who was in a 2-1 count, will have a fresh count when he starts off the top half of the fifth inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left on the base path. And at the end of 3.5, we've officially played half of regulation. Post 22 has protected their 2-0 lead. Paris, Kramer, and King scheduled to hit for your Post 22 Hardhats. We'll have their at-bats and more here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Coke Zero goes with things like this. This. And this. Coke Zero tastes like this.
He shoots, he scores!
It sounds like this. It feels like this. So when the game is on, try it with this. Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste. 0 calories, 0 sugar. Coke Zero
Great
goes
faces,
with things like this.
Great places. Wet paint.
This.
Yep. And around here,
and this.
When great places need a little love,
Coke
great
Zero
faces
tastes like
band
this.
together.
He shoots,
Each year,
he
First
scores!
Interstate Bank
It sounds
employees
like
help
this.
local organizations put a fresh
It
coat
feels
of paint
like
on
this.
homes of those in need.
So
A
when the
small
game is
gesture,
on,
perhaps, but one that puts smiles on faces.
Try it with
and
this.
Strengthens bonds in the places we serve.
Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola
Interstate
taste.
Bank.
0
It's you and
calories,
I.
0 sugar. Coke Zero goes with things like this. This. And this. Coke Zero tastes like this.
He shoots, he scores!
It sounds like this. It feels like this.
Well, the Hardhats transition from defense to offense to begin the bottom half of the fourth inning. They have protected their 2-0 lead, and now they're looking to open it up once again. Timmy Parrish, Justin Kramer, and Connor King are scheduled to hit in this bottom half of the fourth. Numbers across the boards for Post 22 through exactly half of regulation. 3.5 of our 7 innings have been played. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors in the field. And for Mountain West, a club out of Utah, no runs on just 1 hit, but 2 errors on defense.
The game of the day had to be up to this point Eden Prairie. They beat Missoula, Montana 1-0 in the first game of the day here at the Firecracker. And then Eden Prairie came back and defeated Premier West 12-4. Eden Prairie with a 2-0 record so far. The winner of this game will also be 2-0 after the first day here in the Firecracker. Other scores, Premier West is 1-1. Las Vegas lost to Rocky Mountain to go 0-2. Rocky Mountain split, so they're 1-1. Yakima, Washington, they lost to Mountain West 6-3, so they're 0-1. We'll get a better idea after tomorrow's games how the standings are beginning to shape up.
Mark Benetti and Tom Rudabush alongside you for all the action for the 2017 43rd Annual Firecracker Tournament. Timmy Paris, first pitch from Ethan Folks, is fouled to the backstop, and he's behind 0-1. Paris on the ballgame 0-1, a weak line out to first base to end the bottom half of the first. The only inning in which either of these teams have put up runs. Next pitch is swing and a miss, and Paris is quickly behind 0-2. Folks getting that slider to break low and away from him. So no balls, 2 strikes the count, and Folks deals. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's the 5th strikeout for Folks. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on offense, and that'll bring up Justin Kramer, the third baseman, who's 0-1 with a fly out to center field. Folks likes to work quickly. Parrish tried to break that up by calling time. And now Kramer's trying to break up his momentum. He showed bunt, however, it dropped for ball one. If there's anybody on this team that can bunt for a hit, it's Kramer. His 1-0 pitch is a called strike, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Folks, right back to that quick pace. 1-1 to Kramer. Swung on. Ball's popped. Shallow right center field. And the ball is caught on the run by the charging right fielder, catcher Thompson. What a play. He got on his horse from right, fell forward to dive and make the catch. That's a web gem. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Connor King. Looked like the ball was going to get lost in the Bermuda Triangle there for a moment, with Mansfield coming from second, Embry coming from center, Thompson coming from right, but it was Thompson that came through. And now Connor King fouls off his first pitch from Embry, and he's behind 0-1. The righty Embry deals to the lefty King, and the center fielder for post 22 looks at ball one outside. 1-1 the count for King, who's 0 for 1 in the ball game with a ground out to second base. 1-1 pitch. Check swing. He didn't go. That's high and away. They appealed to first base. He said he didn't go. 2 balls and a strike now to King with the base path empty and 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Hardhats up 2-0. 2-1 called strike at his knees. King didn't like that call, and the count evens up 2-2. 2-2 from Folks. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. It was dropped, though. Throw to first. To Barber from Gross is in time. That's going to do it. So a K2-3 in the scorebook. That is the 6th strikeout for Folks in this start. Another 1-2-3 inning with the bottom third of the order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. 4 innings in the books. Post 22 still in the driver's seat. A narrow 2-0 lead to once again protect. Kyle McGuire's back on the mound. We'll be back with the top half of the 5th and more here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family, offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 125 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today. Camping World is
Four innings have been played. Post 22 holds on to a narrow 2-0 lead over Mountain West, a club out of Utah playing in the Firecracker once again. Through 4 innings for Post 22, it's 2 runs on 2 hits with no errors, and for Mountain West, no runs on a hit with 2 blemishes on defense. Mark Benetti and Tom Rudabush alongside you for all the action in this 2017 43rd Annual Firecracker Tournament. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Mountain West, and number 4 in the order is Peyton Gross, the catcher. Gross looks at ball 1 up high. He had a 2-1 count in the top half of the fourth, but the base runner, Ryan Hardman, was caught stealing to end the inning, so Gross gets another crack at Kyle McGuire here. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this ball game. His 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air to center. Backpedaling is King, and he makes the catch. F8 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down on defense for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up J.D. Gardner, the designated hitter.
Well, our defending champion is in the field. I don't think we've mentioned that Rocky Mountain was the winner of last year's Firecracker.
I don't think we have yet. That's a good point. J.D. Gardner also 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1 of 3 that McGuire's dealt in this start. First pitch, nice breaking pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. And Gardner's behind 0-1.
And of course, your favorite champion was 2015 was Eden Prairie. They're here when they won the coin flip.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun time had by all. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Another low and away off-speed pitch. No balls, 2 strikes to count. From McGuire to Gardner.
And the Hardhats won it in 14.
I haven't seen the Hardhats win it yet. You gonna infer that I'm bad luck?
No, not at all.
I don't know. I think it was on your mind. 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. The second time Gardner's been rung up on strikes. 2 up, 2 down. 4 Ks for McGuire. That's going to bring up catcher Thompson, the right fielder. Thompson on the ball game, 0 for 1. He lined out to Luke Ferdinand at first. That ended the top half of the second. First pitch from McGuire to Thompson. Swung on. Ball is hit foul into Rapid Creek. Actually, no, it's not. It just hit the fence. It stays in the grandstand. 0-1 the count. Looked like it was labeled for Rapid Creek. No balls and a strike to count here to Thompson. McGuire full windup. Delivers. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. And McGuire's a pitch away from ending the top half of the fifth and registering his 5th K in the scorebook. Nobody on the base path. 2 outs. Hardhats still up 2-0. 0-2 from McGuire. Just missed inside, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes, and half the infield started to walk off. They thought he got the backwards K. So now 1-2 from McGuire. Thompson's got to see one more pitch. And the 1-2. Caught him looking. Strike 3. There's the backwards K McGuire was looking for. That's number 5 in this start. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Hardhats on defense, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. 4.5 in the books. Hardhats still maintain their 2-0 advantage. We'll be right back in just a few moments, folks, with the bottom half of the 5th. The top of the order due up. Walker Paz, Zach Solano, and Cooper Bowman. We're broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here at the Fitz, and you are listening to ESPN Radio Rapid City, the official radio home of your Post 22 Hardhats.
Why do so many business people trust us? Well, we're pretty nice folks, of course, and we really know our stuff. Black Hills Insurance, a tradition of service since 1949.
Well, the Hardhats once again transition from defense to offense and will once again face Ethan Folks. What a start he has had for his Mountain West club. He's really brought his pitch count down the last couple of innings and is now at 75 heading into this bottom half of the 5th. He will face the top of the order, Walker Paz, Zach Solano, and Cooper Bowman. The 3 gentlemen of which are a combined 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts.
You know, we mentioned yesterday the first ever Firecracker, 1975, Post 22 and the Blackbirds in the finals, and it was rained out.
First pitch to Paz is swung on and hit up the middle for a base hit. So Walker Paz starts off the bottom half of the 5th with a single on the first pitch that he sees, and that will bring up Zach Solano with the leadoff man aboard and no one out here in the bottom half of the 5th, and Post 22 up 2-0.
Well, it's only 3 hits for Post 22, 1 hit for Mountain West. 4 hits total in the game. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning.
4 hits total, and Walker Paz is half of them. Leadoff double to start off the offensive entries for the Hardhats, and now the single. Paz goes. First pitch, a called strike. The throw to second is off track. Walker Paz gets a stolen base. Good heads-up base running. Solano starts off with an 0-1 count and a man in scoring position. Solano struck out the last time he was up. Prior to that, he was credited with a sacrifice fly, even though a fly ball was dropped into right field. But he got the sac RBI because Walker Paz was on third, so the run would have scored either way. He advanced to second on what was eventually a 2-base error. Swing and a miss for strike 2, and Solano sprawls to the ground. Hopefully he's all right. Paz took off for third, though, and now they're sending him back. It was a foul ball, actually. So Solano behind 0-2, and another heads-up move for Paz because third base was not covered.
That 75 game rained out. The actual first champion crown was in 76. The same two teams played, and Post 22 beat the Sioux Falls Blackbirds 3-2. 1976, and then 77 was rained out. That's the last time we've had a championship game rained out 40 years ago.
Actually, no, my first championship was rained out.
That's right. Your first championship was rained out.
0-2's a curveball, swung on, hit high in the air, foul territory, first base side. Barber's there, and he makes the catch.
That was the coin flip game.
That was the coin flip. Now, what was the protocol back in the day? They just didn't play the game? There's no coin flip?
Apparently not. Doesn't list it. But I will tell you after this hitter, the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and I had forgotten this until I was looking back through some of the records earlier today, but it's really an unbelievable story.
Well, here comes Cooper Ballman. We'll hear it after Cooper takes his swings. First pitch, low and away, ball one.
Briefly, it was 1979. Post 22 was playing that Omaha team that I told you about yesterday about the Phantom Infield. It was the championship game, 1979. And
we're going to have to wait. Check down to second. Not there in time, and Paz is back.
The game went extra innings. I think it was the 11th or 12th inning. The game ended 7-7 when Omaha left the game because they were upset with the umpiring.
Wow. Paz goes. Throw to third. Not in time. So Walker Paz with a pair of stolen bases on this trip to the base path. He's now on third for Cooper Bowman, who swung and missed at the pitch. 1-1 now the count.
And I can't remember for sure whether the umpire refused to umpire anymore or Omaha left the field, so I don't want to blame it totally. It might have been the umpires.
Wow. Infield's in. They're going to try and protect the run from coming across. Next pitch to Bowman inside. 2 balls and a strike now the count. That would, I mean, my goodness, you would have to have zero patience at that point to just leave the game if you're an umpire. 2 1s inside, 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, and I remember the incident, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Obviously a call, but I can't remember the specifics.
3-1 to Bowman. Misses low, it's ball 4. So Bowman will take his trot to first. The third base on ball is issued in this ball game by folks on the mound from Mountain West, and it looks like we're going to have a conference. The entire infield, managerial staff, and the catcher. Eric Petrie, the DH, coming up. He has men on the corners and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead. Petrie on the ball game, 0 for 1. He reached on an error, but was awarded an RBI because the infield was back on his throwing error that would have retired him at first had it been on track. Would have been an RBI ground out, so the run would have scored either way. Instead, it turned into an RBI E6, and it was a 2-base error, so he advanced to second. Then he was issued a base on balls the last time he was up. However, he was stranded at third. So men on the corners for the Hardhats DH. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th. Hardhats have a 2-0 lead, and Petrie has a glorious opportunity to score the first runs of the ball game since the Hardhats put up 2 back in the bottom of the 1st. Runner goes. First pitch, swung on. It's hit high in the air to right field, but it's going to tail off foul and go into the Mountain West bullpen. So Bowman tried to take second, but he'll have to trot back to first. And Petrie's behind him. No balls and a strike.
You can see the talent that Folks has as a pitcher. He hasn't reached the velocity tonight that his coach has said he's capable of hitting. He hasn't been close to that, really. But, boy, he's thrown some off-speed pitches. He's mixed things up very well.
No balls and a strike to count from Folks to Petrie. And Folks will step off the rubber for a brief moment, gather himself, and right back to it we go. No balls and a strike. Men on the corners for Petrie. 1 out bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Post 22. Next pitch is a towering fly ball. Left side, foul territory, and it will go into the stands. And Petrie's behind 0-2.
And Folks is no small young man. He's listed at 6'4" and 210 pounds. So there's a lot of beef to Mr. Folks, and he's just a good-looking pitcher.
Wow, that's a linebacker. 0-2. Off-speed pitch, swung on, weakly hit to third. Run's going to go home, plays at the plate, and the throw is in time and pauses out. But Bowman will advance 2 bases on the play. So a 5-2 fielder's choice stops the run from scoring. Petrie safe at first. Bowman takes 2 bases. He's on third. So it's still men on the corners, but now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Zach Sumption. So the 5-2 fielder's choice allows Petrie to reach safely, but it does take away what would have been the 3rd run for post 22. And I think, Tom, if Walker didn't hesitate leaving third, we could have had a completely different sequence of events at hand. First pitch, swing and a miss. And Sumption's behind 0-1.
Walker was kind of caught in no man's land there because he came down the line when the ball was hit, but it was hit weakly and right at the third baseman.
Next pitch swung on, and the ball's lofted into left field. That ball has some legs, it has some distance, and it's going to go off the wall. Petrie's going to score all the way from first. He's got the green light. Play at the plate, and the throw is off track. Sumption's going to take third, and he will hang on. So a 2-run RBI double. He'll advance on the overthrow, and the Hardhats have scored for the first time in this ballgame since the bottom half of the 1st, and they have a commanding 4-0 lead with 2 outs and a man on third here in the bottom half of the 5th.
And what can you say about Zach Sumption? His addition to this team has been, you can't underestimate it. He's got 2 more RBIs, 30 now in the year. He's upped his average over 460.
And that brings up another red-hot gentleman, Luke Ferdinand. He swings and misses at his first pitch. He's 0-1 in his count. And 0-2 on the ballgame. He struck out twice. So Folks clearly has Ferdinand's number in this ballgame. Man on third with 2 outs. And the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and the ball's hit to short. Stops made on the play by Hardman on a hop. And the throw to first is off track. But they did get the tag on Ferdinand. So 6-3 will retire Ferdinand and end the bottom half of the 5th. Well, the Hardhats get 2 runs on the power of 2 hits. There were no errors charged to Mountain West in that inning. And 1 man left on the base path, 90 feet from scoring. 5 innings are in the books. Post 22 has put up another 2 spot. 4-0 is their lead as we head into the top half of the 6th. 7, 8, 9 due up for Mountain West. We'll be right back with that and more here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org.
We've played 5 here at the Fitz. Post 22's second game of the 2017 Firecracker tournament. And after 2 runs scored in the most recent half frame, the bottom half of the 5th, Post 22 now has a 4-0 lead to protect as they transition back to their respective defensive positions here in the top half of the 6th inning. Through 5 for Post 22, it's 4 runs on 4 hits with no errors in the field. And for Mountain West, a club out of Utah playing in this tournament for a 2nd consecutive season, it's no runs and a hit with 2 blemishes on defense. Mark Benetti and Tom Rudabush alongside you for all the action here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball. On 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Kyle McGuire back on the bump for Post 22. He'll take on 7, 8, 9 in the order, starting off with Zach Mansfield, the left fielder for Mountain West. McGuire's first pitch is low for ball 1. That's number 57 for him in this start. Through 5+ innings of work now, and it's 1-0 to Mansfield. He has his only base on balls issued in this ballgame. McGuire 5 strikeouts to a walk. It's only had 2 base runners to worry about, and he picked one of them off. 1-0, low and away. 2-0 the count. And Mansfield, the other base runner, was caught in a 4-3 double play in the same inning he reached. 2 balls, no strikes the count. McGuire behind a little bit to start off this top half of the 6th. 2-0, buzzes the tower high and inside. 3-0. Mansfield, Barber, and Embry, the 3 gentlemen scheduled to hit. 3-0 from McGuire to Mansfield. Inside, ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch base on balls, only the second one McGuire's issued in the start. So the leadoff man's aboard. That's going to bring up Jackson Barber, who again hit into that 4-3 double play. That cleared the bases back in the top half of the 3rd.
I'm trying to think if there's been a post-22 pitcher this year that's thrown a 7-inning complete game.
I don't believe so, actually, because all the games that our pitchers have gone complete, they've been run rules. That's a good point, Tom. First pitch to Barber, called strike. At his knees at the inside corner, and the count goes to 0-1. Barber again 0 for 1, grounded into a 4-3 double play. He has a man on first and no one out, the exact same scenario in which he hit into that. Also the same count. Here's his 0-1 pitch, and that's inside, and the count goes to 1-1. I swear, Tom, if he had hit into a double play there, I thought we were in the twilight zone. Man on first, no one out, no one pitch. If you hit it to second base, then somebody's got a voodoo doll out there somewhere.
Let me get my pins out here.
Ball and a strike to count. Check down to first is not there in time.
You know, Kyle does have as good of a move to first base from a right-hander as you'll see. He had a pickoff in that game last week against the Washington A's.
It's Toyota.
Was it Toyota?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he pitched Friday.
1-1. Ball swung on, hit right back to McGuire, and it goes off of his glove trying to field it. Can he get the out at first? No, he can't. An unfortunate sequence for McGuire, and he slams the ground. He's not happy with himself there, so everybody is safe at their respective bases. Mansfield at second now, Barber at first. And Jason Hers, the pitching coach, is going to come out and have a brief word with everybody on the mound. And that was an awkward play from the start, Tom, because McGuire's trying to backpedal to field a very high chopper. He's on uneven terrain because he's still on the mound trying to field it. So a very unfortunate turn there for number 19, as that is the first error charged in this ballgame to post 22. So Nate Embry is now up, the center fielder. He has men on first and second with no one out, and in such a tight game here, Tom, at 4-0, we might see Embry drop the bunt here to get 2 guys in scoring position.
You know, they've only got 6 outs left in the game, and you need every one of them, trailing by 4. I would venture that they're going to – I would be surprised. Let me put it that way. I'm not ruling it totally out. I would be surprised. His locks flow out from underneath his helmet.
I hope he's a hockey player with flow like that. Or as John Buchagras calls it, a salad. He bunts. McGuire gets it. Throw to first is in time.
Good call, Mark. I didn't think they'd be bunting there.
So the 1-3 sacrifice will move Mansfield to third, 90 feet away from scoring, and Barber 90 feet behind him at second. Second and third, 1 out. Back to the top of the order we go to Jackson Mansfield, the second baseman, who's 0 for 1 with a pair of groundouts to third.
You know, the thing that did work in your favor, though, on that, and I didn't really realize it, that was a number 9 hitter. So that might have been a good time to bunt. We'll soon find out.
First pitch from McGuire to Mansfield is high for ball 1. If it makes you feel better, I recognized when I made the statement that that was the 9-hole hitter, but I didn't think thoroughly enough to, they've only got 6 outs left, so. You picked up where I forgot. I picked up where you forgot.
Well, look, we put our minds together and we're greatness.
Here's the 1-0 to Mansfield. And that misses low. 2 balls and no strikes to count. I would venture to agree with that. Of course, the old saying, too, is that if you put 2 monkeys in a room, they'll write Shakespeare. So, I don't know. 50-50 on that. 2-0 now the count here to Jackson Mansfield. And the pitch is high and inside, ball 3. 3-0 the count. I'm here all week. Second and third. 1 out. And a 3-0 count for Mansfield. And Jackson Mansfield's 3-0 pitch is high and inside for ball 4, and that is going to load up the bases. So McGuire's run into some trouble in this inning. He's committed an error. He's issued a pair of bases on balls. All with 1 out. So bases loaded. That's going to bring up Andrew Aston, the left-handed hitting third baseman. The only silver lining to that, Tom, is that there's a force at every play, so a double play could get the Hardhats out of the jam, and they've already turned one in this contest.
That coming back in the third inning was their 42nd double play of the season.
Kramer is in on the grass. Ferdinand playing back at first behind Jackson Mansfield, who's on first. Mansfield on first. Jackson Barber on second. Mansfield on third, and that Mansfield is Zach. First pitch is fouled to Aston. 0-1 his count. Aston in the ballgame's 0 for 2, a backwards K, and a 5-3 ground out. Every base is occupied. There's 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Aston represents the tying run. The Hardhats are up 4-0. 0-1, swung on, and it's blooped, foul, and just goes over the netting behind home. And quickly, he's behind 0-2, so McGuire can either get a big out at the plate. We could see some fireworks, or a double play could end this. One pitch and so many possibilities. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch from McGuire is low and away. He thought he caught the outside corner, and a couple hundred disgruntled umpires voiced their frustration. 1-2 the count. Bases are loaded for the lefty in Aston. 1 out, top of the 6th. His team trails 4-0 to post 22. 1-2 is high and away. Count even at deuces. We've got a lot of bustling in the crowd here. They want to see a big out, or they want to see 2 turned. 2-2 pitch. Rides high. And the count goes full. Cue a dramatic reverb. Bases loaded. Full count. 1 out. The Hardhats trying to protect a shutout. 4-0 is their lead. We are in the top of the 6th, so time running out here from Mountain West. Payoff pitch from McGuire, swung on and fouled, and Aston stays alive. And people say baseball isn't exciting. Oh, wake up, Tom. We got a game to call.
My Perry Como personality's coming through.
Payoff pitch number 2. From McGuire to Aston. And the delivery. Swung on, and the ball's weakly hit to the left side. Kramer gets it from third. Throw to first in time. So the 5-3 ground out scores a run. It'll be men on second and third now with 2 outs, and the Hardhats shutout is no more. It's now 4-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. 5-3 RBI ground out for Aston. That'll bring up Ryan Hardman, the shortstop. So Hardman still has 2 men in scoring position, and he still represents the tying run should he blast this out of the ballpark. 4-1 is now the Hardhats lead. And the first pitch buzzes the tower over the head of Hardman. And he is ahead of McGuire, 1-0. Hardman on the ballgame is 1 for 2. He has one of the only 2 hits of the ballgame for Mountain West. Then he was picked off to end the top half of the 4th. Here's his 1-0 pitch. Misses low and away. It skips off the face mask of Paris, and it goes all the way to the Hardhats dugout. Scoring from third is Jackson Barber. Advancing to third is Jackson Mansfield. So 2 runs have scored. The deficit's cut in half, and the Hardhats now have a 4-2 lead, and it's a 2-0 pitch to come from McGuire to Ryan Hardman.
And you look at this inning, Mark, how did it start?
A base on balls.
And there's been one other one in the inning, plus the fielding error by McGuire himself.
How things could have been different. 2-0 pitch, swung on and fouled. 2 balls and a strike now, the count to Hardman.
Both runs unearned, and any other runs unearned this inning against McGuire.
By the way, they've made an amendment to the scoreboard. It's only still 1 hit for Mountain West. Another foul by Hardman, who has that hit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. When I said that earlier, I thought that was weird. That they listed 2 hits. I only had 1 in the scorebook. This next pitch will be number 80 out of McGuire's hand. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Hardman. Man on third, 2 outs. And the 2-2. Misses low and away, and it pushes the count full. So another payoff pitch and back-to-back batters that McGuire has faced. If Hardman keeps this inning going, Peyton Gross, the catcher's on deck. He's 0 for 2. If not, the Hardhats will take to the sticks with 7, 8, and 9 due up. Payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled, and Hardman stays alive. Hardman has a man on third. That's Jackson Mansfield, the second baseman. He has a full count, a second payoff pitch coming, and 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. His Mountain West club has scored twice, on no hits, by the way, to cut the Hardhats' lead in half to 4-2. Payoff number 2 about to come from McGuire. And he deals to Hardman. Inside ball 4, and McGuire thought he had him rung up. He started walking off the mound. He was not pleased with that, and it is another base on balls. The 3rd one of this inning. That puts men on the corners with 2 outs, and will bring up Peyton Gross, the catcher. So the cleanup hitter is up. A chance for Mountain West to add a 3rd run to their tally. It would bring them within striking distance of the Hardhats, just down by 1. But Gross has to deliver. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to center field. First pitch from McGuire. Breaking pitch over the head of Paris. Everybody's going to advance. And the wild pitch brings in a run, and the Hardhats' lead has suddenly evaporated from 4-0 to 4-3. And Gross has a 1-0 count, and now a man in scoring position. That man being the tying run in Hardman.
What scares you about Gross, he's their cleanup hitter. He's 0 for 2 in this game. He was 0 for 3 in their first game. So he's 0 for 5 in that cleanup spot.
Most would argue he's due for a hit if he's in the cleanup spot, and he's 0 for in the tournament. Next pitch, called strike at the knees of Gross, and the count evens up at 1-1. So Gross now has a man on second with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Mountain West came in down 4 rip. They've scored a trio of runs. All of a sudden, it's 4-3. And not that we didn't have one earlier, but we surely have a ball game on our hands now. 1-1 pitch, low and away. It skips out of Paris's glove. And Hardman's going to take off for 3rd. And now he's 90 feet away from tying this whole ball game up. A passed ball, a very unfortunate one at that. 2 balls and a strike to count. Boy, this escalated quickly.
Those bases on balls, they just kill you. And like you said, he got through the first 5 innings beautifully. Only 1 walk, but the 3 walks this inning.
2-1, called strike at the belt of Gross. 2-2 now the count. McGuire could really use this 6th strikeout here to end this madness. He's got 5 right now to 4 bases on balls and a 2-2 pitch to deliver to the cleanup hitter from Mountain West. 2-2 to Gross. Swung on and fouled, and he stays alive. Deuces remain the count. Should Gross be the final out, it's Paris, Kramer, and King due up in the bottom half of the 6th. Hardhats still have the lead, but now it's 4-3. 2-2 again from McGuire. Misses low. Paris gets a big block. And holding at third is Hardman, and the count now goes full.
Mountain West has one game tomorrow. They play the 3 p.m. game against Rocky Mountain tomorrow.
3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Peyton Gross. McGuire really needs that 6th strikeout right about now. And his payoff. Swung on, and the ball's hit to short. Bowman gets the scoop. Throw to first is in time, and the Hardhats suffer some damage, but they get out of a colossal jam, as they have allowed 3 runs in this inning on the power of absolutely no hits. 1 error was charged. That was to Kyle McGuire on the mound. And there was 1 man left 90 feet from tying this ball game up. 5.5 innings have been played. The Hardhats' 4-0 lead has now disappeared. It's 4-3. And if the score holds, this is their last chance to bat on offense. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the 6th and the bottom third of the Hardhats order in just a few moments here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
With more than 300 pediatric experts in 35 specialty areas, Sanford Children's offers the care that matters to your family. At the Castle of Care, we are committed to bringing in the latest and most advanced technology and services to care for your children. And having the largest team of specialists in the region means your child can receive expert, individualized care close to home. At Sanford Children's, we promise to put your family first. To learn more, visit childrens.sanfordhealth.org.
You don't have to try to hit a home run when you're hitting singles and doubles all day. Consistency wins games, and it's key to helping achieve your retirement goals. At Weitzel Financial Group, they believe they're there to help with your own ideals and goals. Head toward your field of dreams. Call Weitzel Financial Group for a consultation at 348-1152. Kurt Weitzel is a registered representative and investment advisor representative with and offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network member FINRAS IPC, a registered investment advisor. Weitzel Financial Group, 817 9th Street, Rapid City, South Dakota, 577.
Well, the Hardhats transition from defense to offense, and we have a defensive substitution to recap for you. As the start of Ethan Folks has come to an end after 5 innings of work in which he allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. And of those 4 runs, all of them were earned. So the Hardhats now have a new pitcher to look at, and that is number 35, Jackson Hughes. Folks' final stat line came down to 6 strikeouts, 3 bases on balls. He didn't hit a single batter, and he ended up throwing 91 pitches. So quite the start for him from Mountain West. So Jackson Hughes, the righty, number 35, will take over. One of only 2 substitutes listed on the lineup card for Mountain West for this contest. He faces the bottom third of the order, and Timmy Paris will lead that off. And his first pitch is ripped by the third baseman, Aston, into left field for a base hit. So Timmy Paris gets his first hit of the ball game, was 0 for 2 at that point with a strikeout. Leadoff single for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Justin Kramer, who has a pair of flyouts to center field and right field, and it looks like Tommy Wall is going to come into courtesy run for Timmy Paris. One of the rules of the Firecracker tournament, the catcher can be replaced by a courtesy runner when he makes the base path. Tommy Wall did that yesterday against Las Vegas. I believe he came around to score twice. No, just once. But he made the base path every time, though. First pitch to Kramer. Called strike inside. And a couple of umpires behind home plate disagree. No balls on a strike to count here to Kramer, looking for his first hit.
Look how deep the center fielder, Embry, is playing.
And he's shaded to left center as well. So there is a Mack truck-sized gap in right center field. Next pitch to Kramer inside. 1-1 the count. Kramer is Tommy Wall, courtesy running for Timmy Paris on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Hardhats have the lead at 4-3. 1-1. Misses low. skips, but it's blocked by Gross. Wall will hold, and it's 2-1. It was 4-0 heading into this frame. And then 3 runs were scored on 0 hits for Mountain West. It's a very interesting statistic. 2-1. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. No, foul tipped. Just foul tipped. And the count evens up 2-2. Connor King is on deck, 0 for 2 with a K. And if we get that far, Walker Paz, the leadoff hitter, is in the hole. He's 2 for 3. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Hughes deals. Swung on, and that ball's pushed high in the air to right field. Catcher Thompson comes underneath it, and he makes the catch. F9 in the scorebook. 1 down with that man on first for post 22. That's going to bring us to Connor King. So the Hardhats center fielder still looking for his first hit. Kramer, if he doesn't come up again, finishes 0 for 3 on 3 well-hit balls. But F8, F9, F9, he's been retired each time. First pitch from Hughes to King. Swung on, and it's chopped foul towards the Mountain West dugout. He's behind 0-1. Jackson Hughes in relief of Ethan Folks. 5 innings, 4 runs, all were earned on 4 hits, 6 strikeouts to 3 walks on 91 pitches. 0-1. King showed bunt, pulled back, but it was a called strike at his knees. 0-2 now the count here to King. He was looking for his first strikeout in relief. Oh, 2 pitch. Misses low, and it skips all the way to the backstop, and Wall's going to take second. So Tommy Wall on the wild pitch will advance to scoring position. 1-2 now the count here to Connor King. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Wall takes his lead off a second. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Hardhats are up 1. 1-2 pitch is low. It's blocked by Gross, and Wall is not going to take third. 2-2 now the count. And the 2-2 pitch, low and away. And the count goes full, so good on King to exercise his patience and push this to 3-2. Walker Paz is on deck. Man on second, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th. Hardhats are up 4-3. Payoff to King, high and away, ball 4. So he earns, very well earned based on balls. First and second now for Walker Paz, and he's the hot hand in this ball game. 2 for 3 with a double and a single. And another conference on the mound before we take the at-bat.
A reminder, tomorrow Post 22 has 2 games at 12:30. Post 22 takes on Missoula. I think Missoula's been in the championship game of the Firecracker 6 times and have lost every game. And that game will be at 12:30 tomorrow for Post 22. Missoula lost a tough one, 1-0 to Eden Prairie today in their only game. Then Post 22 will come back at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. They'll play Premier West out of Denver. 12:30 game on Hardhat TV. 8 o'clock game on Hardhat TV and ESPN Radio tomorrow night.
Walker Paz looking to go 3 for 4. Then on first and second and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And here's first pitch from Hughes is a called strike. 0-1 to his count. Again, a single and a double for Walker, the Hardhat second baseman. Leadoff man in the order. 0-1 from Hughes. Swung on and the ball is pushed foul. Third base side and out of play, and quickly he's behind 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count to Walker Paz. Men are on first and second. There's only 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Hardhats with a 4-3 lead. Hughes deals the 0-2 outside, low and away. 1-2 now the count. Hughes pitching from the stretch, a double take the second. Gives a third look. And the 1-2. Swung on, the ball's hit right up the middle and into center, and it is going to drop past Embry for a base hit. He dove and missed it. It's going to go all the way to the warning track. Walker paused, turns on his afterburners. He rounds second. He's going for 3, and he gets the red light from Mitch Messer. It is a 2-run RBI triple, and the Hardhats now have a 6-3 lead with 1 out and a man on third here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, Embry made a decision, and that was to go after the shoestring catch, and it was probably a low-risk play. If he doesn't and plays the ball on the hop, he probably holds the runner at third because he had to hold to see whether the ball could be caught or not. That was Wall at second base.
And now that brings up Zach Solano with a man 90 feet away from scoring. Infield's in. His first pitch is low. 1-0 the count here to Solano. Solano on the ballgame is 0 for 2 with an RBI sac fly. Also a strikeout and a pop-out, foul territory to first. The infield is in. They're trying to limit the damage. Hardhats now up 6-3, and the next pitch is low, but it's blocked by Gross. 2 balls, no strikes is count. Bowman is on deck. 1 out and a man on third here at the bottom of the 6th for Zach Solano. The Hardhats came into this half inning with a 4-3 lead. They've expanded that by 2 more. 1-0. Buzzes the tower high and inside. 3-0. They didn't have the second ball on the scoreboard. 3 balls, no strikes to count. And Hughes deals his 3-0. Called strike. At the knees of Solano, it's 3-1. Bowman on deck is 0 for 2 with a walk. And the 3-1. Called strike at the knees of Solano, low and away. He was about to toss his bat and walk to first, but the umpire said, hang on a second, we've got 1 more pitch. Count is now full for the Hardhats right fielder. Payoff pitch swung on, lined into right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Walker Paz will trot in from third. He's going to score. And Zach Solano has a 1-out RBI single, and the Hardhats lead is now 7-3 with a man on first and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th. So second RBI of the ball game for Solano as he knocks in Paz. And that brings up Cooper Bowman now. Again, 0 for 2 with that base on balls. Infield playing at its normal depth. First pitch is low and inside to Bowman, the shortstop for ball 1. The double play doesn't end the inning. Eric Petrie's on deck. 0 for 2. He's reached on a fielder's choice, and he knocked in a run on an error. Which normally you don't get credit for an RBI for those, but he would have scored the run either way had the error not been committed. Pitch is in the dirt, and it skips away to the backstop, so Solano takes second, and the count is now 2-0 for Bowman. As Hughes came in relief of Ethan Folks, and he's run into some trouble in this inning, allowing 3 runs. And at this point, all of them are earned. So now it's 2 balls, no strikes to Bowman. We have a brief conference between Gross's catcher and himself. He was on the mound. Man on second, 2-0 count here for Cooper Bowman. It's still 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. It's 7-3, post 22. 2-0. Called strike at the knees of Bowman. Fastball, and the count goes to 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Bowman. Swung on and fouled. It's right off of his hands. And the count evens up at 2-2. Eric Petrie is on deck, patiently waiting for his chance. 2-2 to Bowman. Breaking pitch, swung on, hit high in the air, right around second. The shortstop, Hardman, makes the catch. So pop 6 in the book, 2 down. And that brings up quite possibly the final batter of the ball game for Post 22. Eric Petrie with a man on second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The Hardhats have scored 3 runs on 3 hits. Hughes a triple take at second with Solano there. First pitch to Petrie, swung on and missed. Pitch was low, and the count goes to 0-1. (7-3) is now the Hardhats lead. It came in 4-3. They've added 3 more. 0-1 pitch, swung on, and that ball's hit high in the air to right field. Catcher Thompson watches it drop in front of him. It's a base hit. Solano's going to come all the way from second and score. A 2-out RBI single for Eric Petrie, and the Hardhats lead is now 8-3. With Petrie standing on first and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, they used to call that a little flare. A little pop fly that kind of twisted towards the foul line. Not much of a chance at all. In fact, no chance for Thompson to come in and grab it. And Petrie drives in a run. 8-3, Post 22.
First pitch to Zach Assumption is low, but it's blocked by Gross, the catcher. 1-0, the count's Assumption, who in the ball game is 2 for 2. A walk, a single, and a 2-run RBI double. That.
I was just going to say, Mark Petrie with 2 RBIs gives him up to 30 now for Eric on the season.
And that's some big offensive contribution coming from the cleanup hitter. It's been in that spot ever since, really, I've been with this team. Next pitch is Assumption, called strike at his knees, 1-1. Although my first year, Tanner Simons, the shortstop, was the cleanup hitter. With an average hovering around 520-ish, why wouldn't you put him there? Next pitch to Assumption's fouled, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 the count here at Assumption. 2 outs and a man on first here in the bottom of the 6th. Hardhats now have an 8-3 lead. And the curveball is too high to Assumption, and his count evens up 2-2. Luke Ferdinand is on deck, and if he takes some swings in this inning, then the Hardhats will have batted through the entire order. 2-2. Misses low. And the count goes full. Hughes has only walked 1, but again, he's given up 4 hits. And he's given up 4 runs as a result. In relief. Payoff to Assumption. Runner goes. Caught him looking. Strike 3. Pitch hit the low outside corner. That's the only strikeout in relief for Hughes, and that's going to do it for the bottom half of the 6th. 4 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors charged to Mountain West. 1 man left on the base path on first base, and at the end of 6, the Hardhats are now 3 outs away from going 2-0, tying themselves with Eden Prairie at the top of the Firecracker standings. That'll do it. Top of the 7th coming up, folks. You're listening to Post 22 Baseball here on ESPN Radio. Rapid City, Holden Jackson out there to close this one out.
No one. You don't have to try to hit a home run when you're hitting singles and doubles all day. Consistency wins games, and it's key to helping achieve your retirement goals. At Weitzel Financial Group, they believe they're there to help with your own ideals and goals. Head toward your field of dreams. Call Weitzel Financial Group for a consultation at 348-1152. Kurt Weitzel is a registered representative and investment advisor representative with and offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Weitzel Financial Group, 817 9th Street, Rapid City, South Dakota, 57701.
Holden Jackson is coming on for Post 22 to work the top of the 7th. 8-3 is now the lead for Post 22. A huge 4-run bottom of the 6th inning for Post 22. Holden Jackson has 1 win and 1 loss on the season. He has 1 save and an ERA of 4.80, covering 23 1/3 innings. He's allowed 32 hits. 13 walks, 16 strikeouts, and teams are batting .333 against Holden Jackson this season. So Kyle McGuire, 3 unearned runs. He's Mr. Unearned Run.
I don't get that. I really don't. That's just remarkable.
So here comes Mountain West to bat against Jackson here in the top of the 7th. Gardner, the designated hitter, up. J.D. Gardner, 0 for 2. He has struck out twice, and the first pitch is a fastball high and inside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Top of the 7th, the Hardhats leading Mountain West out of Utah by a score of 8-3. Holden Jackson's pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled on the ground off to the right, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Last time Jackson came out for a relief appearance was the championship semifinal of the Blue Summer Series. That was a rocky appearance for Hardhats pitching. He went 2 2/3 innings as the third pitcher used in just the second inning. Allowed 3 hits and a couple of runs.
There's a foul back to the screen, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outfield is straight away. Post 22 with a win would move to 2-0 and tie Eden Prairie atop of the Firecracker standings after today's play. Swing and a miss. Gardner strikes out for the 3rd time in the game. 1 down. That'll bring up catcher Thompson, the right fielder. He is lined out and struck out. Right-handed batter is 0 for 2. He's 1 for 5 in their 2 games today. Swing and a miss. 1 strike. Only 1 hit in the game for Mountain West. Ryan Hardman's single in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss by Thompson, and it's 0-2. 8 runs on 8 hits for Post 22. 3 runs on 1 hit for Mountain West. There's a line drive and caught by Luke Ferdinand. Deep first base. He was just crossing into foul territory. It would have been a foul ball, but a nice play by Ferdinand to snare that line drive.
How about the confidence Luke Ferdinand has been playing with? And again, I go back to that Blue Summer Series. Since the start of that tournament, he's hitting over 400. His defense has been superb. Kudos to that kid. He made a whole bunch of adjustments, and good things are happening for him.
Zach Mansfield takes a slider just inside, ball 1. Mansfield walked in the 3rd and walked again in the 6th. Mountain West down to their last out. Here's the pitch. Swung on, line down towards the left field corner. It's hooking though and going foul. So Mansfield has a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. If Post 22 holds this lead, Mountain West will be 1-1. And they'll play Rocky Mountain at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and Rocky Mountain would be 1-1. So that'll be a very big game for those 2 teams. One of those teams will stay in contention, and one of those teams is going to have to really battle back. Breaking ball in for a strike. Good sharp breaking ball from Jackson, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That is when Holden's at his best. That curveball he has is absolutely lethal, and if he locates it properly, then it's almost unhittable. He's really got good command of it.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Nice inning for Holden Jackson. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 7th, including a couple of strikeouts. Final score, the Hardhats win by a score of 8-3 over Mountain West, and they are 2-0 in the Firecracker, and they have tied Eden Prairie for the top spot in the Firecracker standings. We'll return. Mark and I will look at the totals, the highlights, and look ahead to tomorrow's play here at the Firecracker, all sponsored by Camping World. And you're listening to Post 22 Baseball from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. Post 22, 8-3 winners over Mountain West here to wrap up today's play in the Firecracker. 6 games played today, and it leaves Post 22 after their win over Las Vegas last night with Eden Prairie winning 2 games earlier today on top of the Firecracker. The final totals in this game, Post 22 with 8 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error, and they stranded 6. 3 runs on just 1 hit for the Mountain West team. They committed 2 errors and stranded 1. Mark, those final totals, and Kyle McGuire.
What a great start he had. It was a shaky last inning, though, but nonetheless a quality start he put together. 6 innings of work. He only allowed the 1 hit, 3 runs, and surprise, surprise, Tom, absolutely none of them were earned. 5 strikeouts, though, to 4 walks. He did it on 89 pitches, and the only thing I wish was different about that statistic and that line for Kyle was that his walks count was lower, like he had said he had wanted. We talked earlier in the pregame about how he had come up to you, and while he was happy with his start in Palouse, he said, I've got to really get my walks down. And he looked like he was on pace to do that. Coming into his final inning, he had 5 strikeouts to just 1 base on balls. And then he goes into the 6th, walks the lead batter, then he commits an error on the mound, which, I mean, for me, that's 50-50. Again, he's trying to field on uneven ground. It was an awkward play, but they still charged him with the error. Gives up a sacrifice bunt, walks another guy, RBI ground out, walks another guy, and then finally a 6-3 ground out ended the calamity. That brought the game within 1 at 4-3, and that really stirred the pot here right up until the Hardhats decided to blow open for 4 more runs in the bottom of the 6th and call it a win at 8-3. But I would have liked to have seen Kyle keep his control and keep some of his composure. I know 89 pitches on his start, that's a high pitch count for somebody of this age, but nonetheless, he was rolling. He was on fire, and if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. I don't know what he changed. I don't know what he did with his approach, or maybe it was just flat-out fatigue, but going from 5 strikeouts to 1 walk to 5 strikeouts to 4 walks definitely makes you raise an eyebrow.
Post 22 scored 2 runs in the first inning, both coming in on errors, but both getting RBIs for Zach Solano and Eric Petrie. Post 22 made it 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning on a 2-run double by Zach Sumption. I should say that made it 4-0, and then 3 runs came in the top of the 6th for Mountain West, and all of a sudden it was a 4-3. A little bit tense there for a moment, but Post 22 didn't let that 4-3 lead stay that way for long. They scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th. 2-run triple from Walker Paz highlighted that inning for Post 22, who now go to 35 wins and 4 losses on the season, while Mountain West is 24-7 on the season. Take a moment here. The scores from today's play: Eden Prairie winning 2, 1-0 over Missoula, and 12-4 over Premier West out of Denver. Then Premier West came back and beat Rocky Mountain 4-2. Rocky Mountain bounced back and beat Las Vegas 8-4. Mountain West won their first game tonight at 6-3 over Yakima before losing to Post 22 in our final game 8-3. Of course, Post 22 had opened the tournament with a 10-2 win over Vegas last night. So the standings, Post 22 and Eden Prairie are 2-0. Rocky Mountain, Mountain West, and Premier West are all 1-1. Yakima and Missoula are 0-1, and Las Vegas is 0-2 going into tomorrow's action. Games start at 7:30 tomorrow with Las Vegas taking on Yakima. One of those teams will pick up their first win. Then Las Vegas will play Missoula. That's at 10 o'clock. At 12:30, the Hardhats will take on Missoula. That's the 12:30 game tomorrow. We'll have that game on Hardhat TV at 12:30. It will not be on ESPN Radio. At 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Rocky Mountain will play Mountain West. At 5:30, we'll get a chance to see that Eden Prairie team against Yakima. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Post 22 and Premier West on Hardhat TV and also on ESPN Radio tomorrow night. So, Mark, the first big day of the Camping World Firecracker Tournament is complete. Post 22 would like to thank Camping World for their support of the 43rd Annual Firecracker Tournament. Your one stop for sales, service, and accessories at Camping World of Rapid City. Well, pal, I guess we'll see you tomorrow, huh?
Guess we will see you tomorrow.
Get a good night's sleep. We're early tomorrow, remember, 12:30.
Yeah, I'll have to be sure to be up at 11:30 tomorrow. Make sure we're on the air on time.
I have a feeling you're going to be up a lot sooner than that.
Unfortunately, I will. That's what happens when you have to go into the office. Fun times had by all, right?
Good night, sir.
Good night, Tom. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night for our big Firecracker doubleheader. For my partner, Tom Rudebush, and for our director of Hardhats TV, Destin Human, we'll also see him tomorrow for a doubleheader. This is Mark Benetti saying so long and good night from the 2017 Firecracker Tournament. We'll see you tomorrow for 2 matchups against Missoula and Premier West.